I need a better name for the greenhouse garden. Would y'all like to help me name the greenhouse garden? We need a cool name. And I just don't know. I'm out of ideas. So if you could leave down in the comments any cool names that we could use for the greenhouse garden area, that would be great. I would love it instead of just calling it the greenhouse garden area because that's just freaking boring. In this first bit of footage that we're seeing, I am planting out the green stalk, and it's actually blue, so the blue stalk, the spinny one that we filled up in a previous video. We are planting nasturtiums in there, and I wanted to let you guys know like exactly what we were planting, but it was so windy I couldn't record outside except for the speed through. So we did 3 different nasturtiums in there, and I layered them in a very specific way. So the top layer I did is butterscotch nasturtium, so they're this very bright yellow. The second layer I did was an orchid flame, which is yellow and red. And then the third row that I did were these tip-top mahogany nasturtiums. So there are 3 layers and it got 6 layers. So the bottom layer is the dark red. Then we go to orchid flame and then butterscotch. And then we redo it on the next 3 layers going up. So that's what you're seeing me plant in this little snippet of footage. And to be honest, at the end, when I went to water it, and it looks a little weird, I don't even know if the speed through caught it. There was a little tiny frog that was on there, and I didn't want to just spray him down with water because I thought that would be completely rude. So I picked him up and I put him on my hand, and he hung out there the entire time I watered the planter. And then when I went to put him back, he didn't want to leave. He just kept jumping up my arms and switching arms and going all over the place. It was the most adorable thing ever. I love frogs. I think they're so cute. And I would love to play with them the rest of the time, but we have to move on to getting one of the raised beds planted. So I dropped him. I didn't drop him. I gently set him down and he hopped into the rose bushes to get away from the weirdo human who he was hopping all over. All right, let's get on to this next bit of footage where we are filling up our first raised bed. In this bit of footage, we are going through and planting out the first raised bed. I believe I did the front of it first. I'm trying to do all of this from memory. So that very front part is a Pacific California. This is the one causing all the issues by jumping up in the air and trying to pull the cord because I live in an old house. So just chill. She's not even a year old, y'all. Look how big she is. Anyway, in our big bed, this is gonna go so wrong. In our big bed, the first row is a California blend calendula, which I just think is beautiful. It is also medicinal. Then on the left-hand side of the bed, when you are looking at the screen, what we're planting there are the cut and come again zinnias. And in the very far back of that bed are, oh, what are they? They are a California giant zinnia. Now, this is my first year growing zinnias. So yes, some of them look rough. I'm hoping they pop back, but I do have a plan on actually starting some zinnia seeds so that I will have more growing throughout the entire season. That is the first bed, and I think it went pretty well. I'm going to have to use some bamboo sticks and make sure the zinnias stay upright. But I cannot wait for y'all to see what the calendula looks like. I grew some last year. It was just stunning. Now, if the bees will leave me alone long enough to actually be able to harvest it, that will be fabulous. Let's move on to the next bed. In our next raised bed, we are planting out a lot more flowers. The plan for these raised beds are that these are all annual flowers so that I don't have to dig in the dirt every single year, like the really hard clay dirt that is just the property I have. So in our front row, we are planting the Cosmos Diablos. And then behind the Cosmos are the French marigolds. My lemon and tangerine marigolds did not do squat. They just all went and died. So I may try to plant some of those from seeds. I'll have to see how many more seeds I have. Behind that are all of the double blend dahlias that have gone a little crazy. So I'm not quite sure how that will go. We will stake them up. We will see. Last year I didn't stake mine up. I didn't do anything. I just let them grow because I didn't really know what they were. And I ended up loving them because they are absolutely stunning. So we're going to try to get those happier and get them to give off some really good flowers this year. Now I have learned more. So I know, one, not to start them so early, and two, and that I can cut them and like keep them down a little bit and be able to make them bushier. I didn't know this, so this year it's a little different. So I may actually try to start some more dahlias so that I can do the same thing. All right, let's move on to the next little bit. In this next bit of footage, what we are seeing is me digging into the ground with a whole bunch of crap. Just a ton of crap. Ugh. Okay, we're just not even going to go there. Anyway, this is the Goblin Gaillardia. The reason I bought the Goblin Gaillardia is because it said Goblin. The whole reason I bought it. However, Gaillardia in my zone, which is zone 6B, is a perennial, and I am putting all perennials directly in the ground so that they come back year after year. I did try to burn a hole in the weed fabric like everybody is doing with this weed fabric. I don't know why, but every time I get one of the mini torches, it leaks the butane and then things go and it just, no. So I end up just cutting a big square out, using my drill and digging the ground up and then planting in the Goblin Gaillardia that I started from seed in hopes that these do come back every year. That soil is extremely fertile. Like it hasn't been touched in like God knows how long because we had to take out all the trees, everything because of all the poison ivy that was back there, which I'm seriously hoping I didn't touch any of. But they are in the ground. I went and checked on them this morning and they are perking up. I just hope that they eventually get bigger because they have stayed that size for quite some time. And their roots were not super like compact. It was very loose roots. So I'm going to have to do some more research on Gaillardia just so that I know when I go to plant it, like what type of soil it actually needs to thrive. I can always build up and amend my soil. That's fine, as long as I know I need to do it. This first section of this fence where I did plan on having all the elderberry trees, there are still some elderberries there, but the deer have come along and decided they wanted more of my elderberries and they wanted to leave. And I do have more I can put down, but I also want to take some to the market to sell. So whatever's left over from the market, I will go ahead and transplant. But for now, I do have some high scent sweet peas, which we are putting down in this area right now. I did try to do like little holes and it did not go well. I was on the struggle bus. So I did end up just cutting a line, digging the line, and then plopping them in, covering with dirt, and swirling them up the fence so that they can grow tall and happy and be super ecstatic. At that point, my husband got home from work for a hot minute and scared the bejesus out of me. And he got super happy that I was planting more peas. And I'm like, no, you can't. You don't eat these. These are not good for you. Don't eat these. You'll smell them and they're pretty. That is it. We do not eat the sweet peas or we get really sick. Might go, I'm not sure. But we don't eat sweet peas. Okay. Then now we're going to move on to the next section, which is my little surprise for myself. Hopefully in the next few months, we will get to see it and it will be amazing. This next section that we're planting, I had to soak these seeds overnight, which is probably what I did wrong last year because I did not do that. Right in this area, I have planted a boatload of moonflowers. Yes, they are toxic. Yes, they are bad for you. However, the blooms can get as big as your head and they come out at dusk. So just imagine the vines going around. You can see the garden. You can see all the other pretties. And then all of a sudden at dusk, it's massive silvery white blooms as big as your head. That's what I'm going for. I may have also sneakily put some around the light pole because these vines can go up to 20 feet and I'm hoping they go all the way up the light pole. And then when people drive by, if they know, they know. Okay, moving back to the very far back portion of this garden area is where I plan on, not plan on like this physically what I'm doing in the video right now. I am planting out our spaghetti squash, zucchini, pumpkins, watermelon, and I think that's what's going into the black fabric. I think that's everything that's right there. And that is because last year we got attacked by a tremendous amount of squash bugs. And I have found the only natural predator of said squash bugs are my tiny, adorable little velociraptors. So all the squash is being planted in that big, long area, and I'm going to succession plant so that hopefully we can get enough squash and watermelon and all the things. And if I get squash bugs again, I will release the Kraken on the squash bugs. I will release the velociraptors. They are not krakens. They are velociraptors. And they will be released and be able to decimate them in all their glory. The squash bugs annoyed me last year. They took out all of our pumpkins, like just a ton of crap. And it was getting rid of them was not fun. Behind and in directly in the dirt behind this portion of the garden is the Queen Violet Salvia. Because that is perennial, I want it directly in the dirt. So I took my drill, I dug up as much as I could. There were some issues, but we got it in, and it's looking a bit better this morning as I was getting attacked by gnats trying to do this portion of the video, which is why I'm inside, because all the gnats and other bugs. It is looking much happier. It's popping back. We should hopefully get some rain at some point today and everybody will be watered and super happy. Then next we get to deal with the things around the pond. Oh, the pond area is going to be a thing. So what I have learned and why we are digging 7 holes around this edge of the pond is because the chickens are really close to this portion of the pond. And in research that I have done and in talking to other people, peppermint keeps those nasty gnats and mosquitoes at bay. However, they do attract other bugs that the chickens would love to eat, and they help the chickens smell better. Bonus, I know peppermint's aggressive. I know that it should spread like frickin' wildfire. I'm hoping the chickens keep it in check, but I also need natural ways to cut down the mosquito haven and the gnat haven. I'm trying as many natural ways as I can to do that. I don't want to hurt the creatures in the pond. I love my frogs. I love my turtles, my snakes, all of them. I love the ducks that now can come and land there because they can see the water. And I just love all of the animals there. And I don't want to do anything that could hurt them, which is all the chemicals you can use to kill these things off. If anybody has any ideas other than just the peppermint and planting things that they don't like around the edges of the pond, please in the comments below, let me know. I will try anything at this point as long as it is not toxic to the animals that already live there. We are planting 7 peppermint plants. I got these plants from Azure Standard. They're super healthy, and I'm hoping extremely, extremely aggressive. But that is the last bit of planting for today, and it was a very, very long day. Oh, it was such a long day. In the middle of it, there was a big cleanup so that I could get everything organized and figure out what I still needed to do. And that helped immensely because I was getting overwhelmed about halfway through and I almost gave up. But we got it done. It's looking okay. It's not stunning right now because it all just went in the ground, and now we wait and see, and we do our last little bits like standing up the dahlias, making sure the sweet peas are doing what they're supposed to do, making sure the snapdragons are doing what they're supposed to do, and hopefully here in the next couple of weeks we will have some amazing blooms that will just make my little dark heart sing, which would be fabulous. All right. Thank you all so much for sticking with me throughout this entire process of planting this. This might be a long video. I have no idea. I haven't even looked at all the footage yet. But we are slowly growing, which makes me happy. I would much rather steady growth than just like a big boom. And I don't even know the words. This is amazing to me that there are over 100 subscribers that want to watch this garden. And I'm hoping to grow this channel more and to do bigger and better things because I am doing a farmer's market, not a farm stand, a farmer's market this year where I will be selling the things that I make along with some of the plants that I grow and seeing it's a tester year to see how that goes and to see if maybe I want to explore an option of a new career path. The things are, I'm just so tired of technology half the time. And I think it's time for me to explore new options. So I am looking into those options and I will be sharing those along this journey because we are testing them out. And y'all may not even know we're testing them out, but yeah, we're testing out those options. Again, thank you so much for making it all the way through the video. If you like these types of videos, please like, share, comment. The more engagement, the better. And I hope you have an absolutely blessed and magical week, y'all. Bye.